Welcome to A Leader's Journey, the podcast for leaders who deeply believe there is a better way to lead and desire to create their unique journey towards becoming a legacy leader. I'm your host, Shannon Hammond. Over the last 20 years as a corporate leader and leadership performance coach, I've learned that many leaders believe there is a predefined path they have to follow and struggle leaning into their unique gifts that will create lasting impact and fulfillment. They end up feeling stuck, unhappy, and unfulfilled in the day-to-day of their role, and are challenged with why, since they have experienced success in their career and in life. I'm here to help leaders think through their leadership journey, learn how to ask themselves better questions, and learn the formula to create their leadership journey by design. If you are ready to design your unique leadership journey, lead with confidence, and love the teams you lead, then you are in the right place. Let's do this. Hello, my friends and fellow leaders. I'm glad to have you back here with me this week on the podcast. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so happy that you are here. I know that your time is valuable, and I'm grateful that you've chosen to spend some of it here with me today and taking the time to invest in your growth and development as a leader. As you are exploring and preparing for a leadership role, you're probably feeling overwhelmed by all the skills you are learning that a leader needs to have. Leadership is complex. There is a lot that a leader needs to learn. And as you grow in your leadership, that list gets even longer. That also doesn't mean that you need to have built and mastered every single leadership skill before you get promoted. If that was the case, no one would ever get promoted to a leadership role. You do, though, need to build some foundational skills and have been able to demonstrate your proficiency and competency in these skills before you get promoted. Doing so not only makes you a stronger candidate when you are interviewing, it will also make that transition into your new leadership role much smoother. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be bumps along the way, because there will be. And there always is when you are doing something new, whether that's leadership or anything else. If you do work on building these skills, though, it will make those bumps a little bit easier for you to navigate, and you will feel more prepared. Just like when you're building a house, you start with the foundation. Then you add on exterior and interior walls, a roof, windows, doors, etc. You get the point, right? If you started building with the walls or the roof first, then your whole house would be unstable, and eventually it's going to crumble to the ground. It's going to completely fall apart. Your leadership journey is no different than building a house. If you try to step into the advanced leadership skills before you know how to do the basics, they won't work for you. You'll get frustrated, stressed, and probably written up, or even worse, you'll get demoted or fired. And that's not what we want for your leadership journey. That's a path that you don't also have to experience if you start with building the foundational skills that we're going to talk about today. If you haven't been working on these skills in preparation for your leadership role, no worries, I've got you. There's no wrong time to start, and you could pick up and start working on these skills today. So let's get into the 5 foundational leadership skills that every emerging and aspiring leader needs to be working on now to put themselves in the best possible position for promotion, as well as making that transition to their new leadership role just a little bit easier. All right, our first skill that we're going to talk about today is self-awareness. I love this quote from Lao Tzu. It's know yourself and you will win all the battles. That's exactly what self-awareness is. Self-awareness is all about knowing you. What is your belief system, your values, your thoughts, your emotional responses, your energy levels, all the things that make up you as a person. It's about understanding how you uniquely work, think, and show up in the world. If you're going to be at your best, you have to be completely aware of yourself because how would you know what your best looks like? This is going to allow you to make conscious decisions, see what is happening in your day to day, in understanding why you might be reacting or responding or feeling the way that you are about each situation that you find yourself in. You can lean into your beliefs and your values so that you know the decisions you make are in alignment with who you are, and they can be your guide in making that decision. Now, you can get proactive also about how you will manage your stress because you will have stress as a leader. You can choose how you will respond when someone starts to push your buttons. And yes, we all get our buttons pushed, and leaders are no different because we are human. Self-awareness allows you to be present in the moment, to be really paying attention to what is happening around you and observe everything that's going on. Now, another aspect of self-awareness is knowing how others perceive you and being open to the feedback that they share. Not just listening to it, but being willing to act and actually take action on what they shared. That's not to say that you need to implement every piece of feedback you are given. Yet you do need to have a level of awareness to discern what changes will serve you and which ones will not. So that first foundational leadership skill that you need to build is that self-awareness. All right, foundational skill number 2 is innovation. Leaders have to consistently be one step ahead and looking into the future. John Maxwell says leaders need to see more and before others, which is so true. They also need to be in the present moment, looking for opportunities to gain efficiencies, create a better environment for their team members, identify what is no longer working, and where the team may be stuck in the "this is the way we've always done it" mindset. We've all heard the saying, what got us here won't get us there, and this is true, and that's exactly where innovation comes in. Innovation is key to forward progress and success. Emerging leaders need to be able to demonstrate that they can innovate, think creatively, and they won't get stuck on the hamster wheel just doing what they've always done because that's the way it's always been done, or that's the way that they've always done it. Not only is the organization depending on leaders to be innovative, so are your future team members. When your teams are not growing, they are dying. And innovation is key to growth, not just for people, but for the processes within your team and being able to make sure that your team can keep up with the changes that are naturally going to happen in the world, in your industry, in your market, in technology. And innovation is what allows you to be able to do that. All right, foundational skill number 3 is centeredness. Now, centeredness is all about having awareness and control over your emotions. It's all about being able to recognize when you are feeling stressed, anxious, or just when you're not clear-headed, and being able to pause to make sure that you don't jump into making a rash decision. It's also about recognizing when you are extremely happy and excited and in a state of high energy, and again, not rushing into making a decision from that place. Centeredness is getting to a place of neutrality and being able to look at a situation as objectively as possible. Now, nobody is able to be 100% objective because how we see things and how we make decisions is based on our knowledge and our past experiences and the things that are important to us. However, as leaders, we want to make sure that we're not making those decisions from that place of high emotion or really low emotion, really getting to that neutral place. It's also recognizing when you need to step away to reset your mind and your body so you can perform at your best and show up as your best for others. Leaders don't need to be connected 100% of their workday. You need to be able to take that time to step away, to refocus, recharge, re-energize, and get to that place of centeredness. So again, you can show up as your best self. All right, foundational skill number 4. And I put this as two different things, but they're really the same and they really go hand in hand. And that's discipline and time management. As a leader, do you own your calendar or does your calendar own you? Are you able to balance the items on your calendar, have time for completing the tasks that are part of your role, and time to rest and recharge, like we just talked about? If you are accepting every calendar invite that comes your way or filling your calendar with meetings, you won't have time for yourself to complete the rest of your role. Or you're going to find yourself in this place of constantly showing up late to meetings, needing to reschedule because you're behind for the day, or even worse, having to cancel meetings. This is not a good place to be. You have to have control over your calendar and be able to manage your time effectively. A large part of being able to manage your time is discipline and being able to stay focused on what needs to get done without allowing distractions to slow you down or stop your progress. Another aspect of time management and discipline, and maybe one of the most important aspects of it, is being able to manage your mind around that time. There's only so many hours in a day, and not getting in your head about what you need to do and the time available is what allows you to be able to manage your time. Keeping your mind from focusing on tomorrow's work today, telling yourself stories like, I'll never get this done, or there's just not enough time, or sitting in that place of indecision on a regular basis is getting in your head and taking control of your thoughts so you don't see your time as it really is. Being able to manage your mind around your time, being able to look at your calendar objectively, and being able to build that space in and that discipline to say no when is necessary and yes when is necessary is what is going to allow you to be effective as a leader. And I can tell you that there are a lot of things that are going to come your way. You're going to get inundated with new meetings and new calendar invites and new tasks as a leader. And having that discipline to be able to manage your mindset around time and be able to take control of your calendar is really crucial. And when you've built that skill before you get into that leadership role, it does make that transition easier and it makes your ability to say no easier. All right, so we've talked about 4 of our 5 foundational leadership skills. So let's get into our 5th one, and that's communication skills. Leaders need to have foundational communication skills. Now, this includes being comfortable speaking with individuals in one-to-one settings, as well as small groups like team meetings or department meetings. Leaders need to know their audience, what they need to say, and how it needs to be delivered to get the impact and the results that they desire and or need in that situation. Listening and understanding are also part of communication skills. Communication is a two-way street. Leaders need to be able to deliver messages, and they need to be able to truly listen to those around them. Feedback is a great example of this. Leaders need to be able to give clear, actionable feedback to others, and they need to be able to receive the feedback given to them. And this is where listening and understanding comes in, because you may not agree with the feedback that you were given, yet it is being given to you for a reason, and you need to be able to truly hear it so you know how to act upon it, how to respond, and what you need to do with that particular feedback. All right, so we talked about the 5 foundational skills that leaders need to work on before they apply for the promotion. So that's self-awareness, innovation, centeredness, discipline and time management, and communication skills. Leaders without these skills, they are doomed to fail and they are going to struggle in their leadership journey. So don't let that be you. You be the emerging leader that decides today that you are going to start working on these foundational leadership skills. Now, that doesn't mean that you tackle all 5 of them at once. You might need to pick out 1 or 2, and maybe you rate yourself on the 5 of them and decide which ones you need to start or how you're going to prioritize them. When you start working on one, you will find that the others will start naturally coming into play and you will start to develop some skill around them. So make that decision today that you are going to be the emerging leader that works on your leadership skills. Now, as you reflect on what I've shared, what other skills would you add to this list? These are the 5 that I think are important, and I'm curious to hear from you what you believe the foundational skills of a leadership role are. And I want to know, what foundational skills are you currently working on? So feel free to share them in the comments or send me a message, and let's talk about where you're at in your leadership journey and what you're working on today. I appreciate you tuning in this week, and I hope that you tune in with me each week as we work to level up our leadership this year. Until next time, my fellow leaders, lead with confidence, show up every day as the leader that you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year. Thanks for listening to A Leader's Journey podcast. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're excited to learn more, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in next week for another exciting leadership lesson. I'd love to help you level up your leadership, achieve the goals you desire, and design your unique leadership journey. So click the link in the show notes to schedule a free Level Up Your Leadership session. During this time, we will define where you are in several key areas of leadership, where you desire to be, and how you can level up your leadership. You don't need to do this alone, so let's chat today and get your journey started. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn or in the A Leader's Journey community on Facebook, and share this episode with another leader so we can all learn and grow together. That's all for this episode, and I'll see you next week. Until then, lead with confidence, show up every day as the leader you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year.